Bless and love, my lords. Welcome to another live interview powered by Red Lion. I'm joined here today by our co-host Dudley and a very talented guest. Today we have Pia. How's it going? How are you?
Hi, Dudley. Hi, Red. I'm great. How are you guys? Thank you for
Hey,
having me.
GM. Nice to have you
GM.
with us. Yeah, all is great. Friday,
It's a
weekend upon
beautiful
us.
Friday.
It is. The
Yeah.
work is just.
How is the weather where you are?
Well, weather is lovely here. It's exactly 13 degrees, but mostly sunny. And yeah, outside looks very tempting, but I have a jet lag, so I'm gonna just keep myself inside my home today. Yeah. And how is everything over there?
Fantastic. Yeah, it's very nice and sunny. Lovely to hear. It's a beautiful day, a nice Friday, and we are very excited to have you. Thanks for coming into the show. Let's start with a little bit of a presentation about yourself and your art. I was impressed when I was reading your bio, how you started and the costume design. But why don't you go ahead and give us an insight of your artistic journey, your origin story?
Okay, so who I am? I'm Pia, and since high school, I'm actually studying fine arts, and fine arts, and especially well, it's like with many things like sculpture to academic drawing, but then for my college degree, I choose to be studying stage and costume design and puppetry. So this is where also my artistic roots are coming from. I'm coming from a very traditional art like academy. So everything that I'm still doing in my artwork is basically creating my own environment and telling my story just like I'm telling it on the as a stage design, like a costume design with silhouettes, with elements that I would use, and basically those are the ones very much. The subjects are shaping my artistic approach as well, and ever since I'm challenging myself for it. So, yeah, that's my background, and I'm also active in the film industry as well. I recently became full time artist because my project with Disney came to an end. But yeah, other than that, I'm full time here.
That's that's so exciting. And we had Exilo yesterday. He was involved. He's involved with the VFX industry and movie productions and what you mentioned now. So it's very exciting to hear about all that. But before we dive into it, you mentioned puppetry. That is very overlooked. What is your experience? What is puppetry nowadays? Can you explain that to us?
Oh God, I love puppetry. I actually graduated. I actually didn't even stop studying on stage design, which I did profession in my professional life. But in the academy, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with puppetry. Actually, puppetry is many things. These are being a stage designer and costume and puppet master or puppeteer, let's say. I think these are very much multidisciplinary departments that you have to get knowledge of how to sculpt your character, how to design a character, how to sculpt it, how to dress it. That's puppetry, and you can go a lot of experimental. You can make huge puppets, small puppets, stop motions, and it's it's kind of like this language where it helps you to tell your own story in various disciplines, right? So puppetry really helps me to kind of build my character design background. And I did it was very traditional, like I said. So we used to literally carve woods for marionettes and for shadow puppetry, which actually I shared a couple days ago in my feed as well. I think still the shadow puppetry project I did back in the years still feeds me until like this time. Um, and yeah, the marionette shadow puppetry we did. I don't know the English exactly, but like this Muppets, the one with the sponges, and then experimental puppetry. So yeah, I studied and finished on puppetry as well, which I love. It's very weird that
That's
puppetry
so
lost
cool. Yeah,
like
it's
the
so cool.
coolness, but
Yeah.
thank you.
I mean, it never lost its coolness. What was the name of the movie by the creators of South Park? Team America. That was an insane movie, and it was all puppets, right?
Yeah, it was. I think I might not know that movie, but there's a lot of like great productions taking puppetry as a discipline to tell their own story, which I think it's a genius way because puppetry is everything. It includes like painting, it includes like costume, it includes 3D visual of your imagination, right? You're also creating the stage as well. So it's like this miniature world that you're creating with basically your artistic skills. I think it's an incredible way to tell the
What
stories.
fascinates me though is that not only you have to be proficient in all those art forms in order to create a puppet, but you also need to breathe life into your creation. It needs to have a character. It needs to feel real, right?
Yeah, that's where you became the master of puppets, like Metallica. But um, yeah, I love that song. By the way, I have a quite metalhead side, but yeah, I being like a puppet master. It's also yeah, you have to act as well. You have to like the you have we kinda. I used to even draw every movement of my puppet before creating it. So I had to create my own storyboard, my lighting, my own scenery. And oh, it was very traditional. Like I said, it was quite painful now because of digital world. It's become much easier to do these stuff. But they used to, we used to paint them with watercolors, scene by scene. So it was painful. But now, like like each year, putting on, I appreciate all the knowledge that I have in my pocket right now with those skills I have. So I'm quite grateful for it.
I love it. I love it. Very, very interesting rabbit hole, I would say,
Yeah.
puppeteering. But let's move on to movies, movie sets, and costume design.
Oh yeah.
What have you been doing there?
Okay, so I've been working. So I'm based in Turkey, right? I'm based in Istanbul. So I mostly took part in Turkish productions, but besides that, Turkey is also a great spot for international productions to come and shoot their movies because there's amazing sceneries and like locations here where you
Turkey
don't
has
really.
quite a strong movie industry, actually. It does
Yeah.
have a movie industry for sure.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. In both in Europe and Middle East, to even like to Northern America, I think. Yeah, those like I've been hearing a lot of people telling me about when I mentioned that like I work in the film industry in Turkey. They say they love soap operas, right? Um, but I mostly like work in historical productions, which is very strong in Turkey, and I mostly design historical costumes and time period chains. Really, I worked with Gothic era, which was 13th century Serbia. It was like the Serbian king, and and the Ottoman era, and then there was the 19th century like Orient Express kind of drama happening. So it was always like this shaping and different like yeah timeline each project, and I love that because it's just like it's not boring. Like I have an exhausting job, but it's never boring, which I love. And I used to do both like set decoration, um there is a movie actually live on Netflix we shot. It's called The Swimmers. I really have high hopes for it to get some awards this year. And if you're never watched it, it's time for you to watch it. Would love to hear your feedbacks. And there is this one movie my biggest blockbuster movie that we shot with Guy Ritchie, Jason Statham, and Hugh Grant, Audrey Plaza. Um, it's coming on the big screens at 12 no 13th of this month. So it's called Operation Fortune. It's like this blockbuster Hollywood movie, but it's gonna be fun too. And I did set decoration, no, graphic design coordination there. Yeah.
What does that mean for the people who don't know?
Okay, that means everything you're seeing as a sign, or if even if like some kind of map that Jason Statham is holding in his hands, right? We produce that as the graphic department. Nothing
Oh, the
is.
props, the
Yeah,
props.
well,
Right.
like props, we work constantly together with the prop department. Um, but it's more like we're providing everything that you see, like how can I say, like a sign or like a tabloid, these
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like these are all graphic design. If there's a newspaper, we have to design that. And it's quite frankly funny because I also used, like, Hugh Grant actually asked for a dead granddaughter for the movie, which was very spontaneous. He asked this from Guy Ritchie, and then of course the word came to graphic design department because they were now asking for us to print this granddaughter photos to for them to dress on the set. And the funny story is, I said, "Can we use?" Yeah, that's the tweet. Um, and
No,
and
say it. It's fine. Nobody's listening.
I said, like, "Can we use my baby pictures?"
Oh
So
my God.
and they accepted it. So that movie includes my one cameo and my baby
Oh,
pictures.
oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yo, it was crazy. I went to Hugh Grant at the wrap party. We were drunk, and I literally told him, "Hey, dude," I told Hugh Grant, saying, "Hey, dude, I was your dead granddaughter," and then we had shots. So that's like this one time in a life opportunity, and I took it. So I was like, "Fuck this! Where he's gonna see me again, right?" So I'm. I hope he will forget that.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool, man. It's also true. I mean, like, you're not gonna bump into each other randomly again.
Yeah, probably. Very hard. Very
Maybe
hard.
for work. Maybe for work.
Maybe if there's any like second movie comes up and we end up like working together,
Mm.
maybe.
And how did you take that experience into crypto art? When did you first find crypto art, and how did you become immersed into it?
Okay, this is amazing question. I love this story because this again comes to the same movie project. I think Fortune changed my life. In a way that I was not expecting at all, because I was drawing. Of course, I had my already, like, I've been drawing on my tablet, right? At each like second that I was free, I was like, you would find me on the set drawing something, sketching something, and I ended up doing the sketch of the crew in like this absurd funny ways, and they loved it. And one of them said to me, "Why don't you mint them as NFTs? Like, your digital drawing is like good." And I said, like, "What the fuck is NFTs, yo? Like, I have no idea
Yeah,
what's
the
that."
digital bro was there, right? The
Yeah.
digital crypto bro was there.
The
Hey,
crypto bro
Mister,
was
there's
there.
NFTs. Everything has to be an NFT.
Yeah, actually, he is the camera operator of The Flash and some other Marvel films, and he was also, his name is Andy. I will never, like, I don't know how to, like, thank him because he was the one who seeded me this in the first time. And I was like, yeah, maybe I will in one day. And after months, I just like, my project came to an end. I had nothing to do. And like, yeah, I spent all of my money already. And I was like, I was also quite in a bad place. I didn't really work because film industry all very good and fun and like lovely, but it's also has a lot of like negative parts as well. It's very hard industry to survive in. There's like so many pressures will be on your shoulders that will literally just like make you yeah, it's like a constant war that you're giving. So I was kind of down and I was like, I had no idea. I locked myself away from everyone. I just like draw. So I had this enormous amount of artworks in my hand. And I was like, you know what? What somebody did mention NFTs. Let's see what NFTs is. And that's how I minted my first artwork basically. Uh yeah,
That's amazing. And massive
I
shout
wrote.
out to Andy, right?
Yeah,
For bringing you in. I was just joking. He did a great job bringing you in to this world of crazy NFT and crypto.
exactly.
And how the part of why these interviews are amazing, and a question I used to ask to some guests is how NFTs changed your life. And uh, sometimes I don't even have to ask it. People just openly put it out like you did, and it's amazing to hear how of a positive impact NFTs had in the lives of so many creative people and so many people that actually needed that outlet for multiple reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Well, NFTs changed my life. Oh, big time. Like very, very big time. And I think it saved me from my darkest era very smoothly because I was now getting appreciated by, with my art. And this is what I studied since I was 15. So it's just a dream to make art and like gain your money with it, make a living with it. Plus people like get appreciates you. It's incredible feeling for every creator, believe me, it's priceless. And um i i I had nobody when I first entered the space. I did my first mint, so let me tell you that story as well if you're like willing to listen. um I
Oh
made
yeah, yeah.
Great. I made my first mint on OpenSea, and like I said, I was all on IG. I had no idea because of like this Turkish problems. We really didn't felt comfortable using Twitter, because I'm an anarchist in Seoul. So my government literally hated my tweets. Let's say, I was not able to use Twitter for a long time, and I was on IG, and OpenSea shared my artworks. They featured it on Instagram, and they actually DM'd me if I have a Twitter thread going on. And I said, like, what is Twitter thread? This is so shameful for me to accept, but I had no idea what the hell was Twitter thread.
No, it's not shameful at all. I mean, we were all first introduced to something and we didn't know what it was, you know. But in today's digital age, you need to know everything, you know.
Yeah,
I entered Twitter because I entered NFTs, basically. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been using it, you know. But yeah, since I started using it for NFTs and crypto, I saw it's a great tool. And um, you don't have to know everything about it when you start using it. You know, how could you know what a Twitter thread is?
exactly. But I'm also tweeting right now. Yeah, okay, that sounds great. Um, saying like hop in. Yeah, it was like it's so hilarious in this way. Okay, this is I felt quite like shameful but like then, but now I can laugh off because I know everybody is like super understanding in this place, and everybody had the struggle of like this first entry, the first step into the space is everyone had their own struggles, I think. And my struggle was this, and it was funny because OpenSea was like Lizzie, actually, from OpenSea's social media manager. She was the one who sent me how to create a thread, and that helped me. I was like, okay, give me 5 minutes. I opened Twitter, brand new. It was literally the day I got featured, so it's like August 2021, and I made my first thread like in 10 minutes. I sent them because they were supposed to retweet it, right? And I was like, okay, this is not an opportunity I shouldn't be like missing. And I did it, and they were like, they supported me. They were like very nice. It's sad to see OpenSea at where it is right now, honestly, for me. And yeah, that's how I first entered the space. And yeah, my first collection was woman figures. It was much more minimalistic and simpler than what I'm doing right now. My figures are still like the same figures. I will always protect their shape and their silhouette, but understanding the whole journey, you will find it much more raw and much more minimalistic, maybe even much more bolder than what I'm doing right now, because I was literally just like using my silhouettes, and I think I just can't do it anymore.
It
Just
was
it's
more
very
of a raw
hectic.
output, would you say?
Yeah, the whole like the it was like this baby steps you build on, on, and when you go back to what you created year ago or 2 years ago, I think it's been like, for me, I started to do these figures around 2019 when I first time I got my iPad in my hand because I was drawing them in my sketchbooks, right? And that was the first time I digitally started drawing them. So at the end of 2019, it was like more of a research and this rawness era, the minimalistic era, and ever since I try to put it on and on. And it's very very fun journey so far.
I love that we chat about puppeteering at the beginning, and now we can see those figures in your art and the way you are using them. Um, what are you focusing now on, and how you mentioned you changed them a lot on how they are today. So, what are you focusing now, and how is your art different nowadays?
Okay, so it's not like, for me, it's never really that different from each other. As a creator, I see them as like my, a journey that we are like a
Your
path that I'm,
evolution as a creator,
yeah.
right? Hmm.
Exactly, but they're still like the same babies for me. If you're like taking the concept of giving birth to your artwork, so they're all like, I equally love them all so much because like this is where I was and this is where I'm now because thanks to that. So I always feed from like this, how can I say this, like this very dramatic scenery of underwater photography, and I always kind of like imagine my figures inside a womb. I think that's where I also studied, by the way, the post-conceptual art in Fine Arts Academy, Vienna. So it's like how I build my it's like very much like a dramaturgy, if you're like familiar with that term. We use dramaturgy on theater and like movies and etc. to analyze the scripts, and each character has their own journey and there's a philosophy behind it. So everything I put on my canvas has to have a reason. I just simply can't put something because it looks nice, right? As an artist, this is my approach, at least. So I built up my own dramaturgy and my own world by that time. And now I'm just reflecting more of my. I really like the sketchy like sketching, and this is like we sketch a lot. We sketch stages and how it might look on the set. It could be 5 minute sketch, it could be like hours sketch, but sketching is very important. It's like rawness of the idea. I think where there's something very nice in the feeling of the sketch. It's like this, you're giving this birth to an idea. And for the last drops of mine were more focusing on the sketch side of my journey. Like I wanted to tell people where I'm coming from with the side elements that I'm using in my artworks, with my placements, some little notes of mine, which I never really like think about. I just draw them, and I feel like I'm designing a costume, right? So I just like sketch my idea and why I'm doing that underneath, and I leave it as it is because it's beautiful in that way. It wouldn't be beautiful for me. It wouldn't be okay if I artificially put or write something underneath it for to be looking good. It's very organic, so I quite enjoy that.
It has to
And
fit the concept, right?
yeah, exactly. It's
Form
like we
follows function.
Exactly. We had a director saying, I never forgot this line. He was a quite an asshole. Nobody likes him, but he made a very correct point. One time he said, everything on my lens, even if it's a fly that's flying by my objective, it needs to have a reason. So I think I kind of feed from that ever since. And since theater is a very disciplined uh
Sounds like my type of guy.
yeah, because I can't simply just do that. It's like betraying my own ideology. Oh, let's
Mm,
put this because it looks cute. I just simply can't. Like my hand wouldn't let me, my brain wouldn't
mm.
let me. So I always try to like analyze what I'm doing and find it. Okay, this is dramaturgically supporting this, and this is the reason why I'm putting this. Okay, my hair is white, so that's where I'm gonna use the white element, and my salmon's yin and yang. So these are all this conceptual ideologies that I feed from, and I am feeling more happy simply when I share them in my sketches, and where how I'm currently, you know, um, producing my artworks.
I love it. Your aesthetic and your style and your compositions are quite unique, and hearing your process and how it derives from your mind and what you feature there and what not, it's pretty beautiful to hear. Reading back your bio and previous interviews, I see one phrase repeated: more conceptual, less real. What does this mean?
Okay, I love this because I don't okay, so this is actually goes I think all the thing that I've been telling right now is sporting this, because I have to be conceptually like how can, like my formula, there's this formula that I'm using, right? My elements are there, my color tones are there, my figures, I have my silhouettes. So these are all my numbers that say I'm creating, or my symbols, and I'm creating this formula. And I love actually
Your
taking the.
set props and you're creating the whole set, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm putting like the scenery in front of you, right? So I need to be conceptually right to make that happen for me first, and then real for everyone in the second. And the rest, less real part, is coming from my interpretation of my figures, because they are not really realistic looking female bodies, and I never really intended to do a realistic looking female body, really. I kind of interpreted them always. I don't know if it's because I did fashion illustrations, but I know one thing for sure: I wanted to them to look as pointy as possible. uh, since this whole background story goes to a theater um, play of Alfred Jerry. He's an amazing writer. He's been known as the father of surrealist subversion of theater, and I've been feeding from him a lot. And there's this one character, Mama Ubu, and she was the first character I designed, and I think I'm still putting on top of it, because I had to create the silhouette form of this very bad, nasty woman figure on the theater stage. So I had to made her very pointy, very sharp, and I quite enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that silhouette and form. And ever since, what I'm building is basically I'm building on top of that. So that's where the less real and more conceptual is coming from.
I love it, and we can see that character in throughout the work and female figures as you described, less real. I think it's beautiful, and I can definitely see the fashion design background on your art. It's the figures and the whole composition is very stylish and yeah, definitely movie-like. I can see the puppeteering. It all blends together nicely. So I really enjoy it, and chatting with you definitely puts all of these elements into perspective when someone is looking at your art. What are your plans for 2023, and what are the collections you have in store for us?
Okay, 2023. I think this is going to be the legit year for editions, right? We are seeing a lot of editions. I will keep doing my own thing. I very like when it comes to planning, I'm still learning. Like as an independent artist, I'm still learning to say what to say, to say yes and to say no. But this seems very like, saying no is very freaking hard, but I'm learning. Um, but yeah, eventually, there was this like couple projects that I said yes to, some couple projects that I said no to, and the yes part is I will be dropping some editions with amazing friends and amazing talents, with very very like with the lead with the leadership of like this great collectors that I will be yet to reveal. So you can expect like a little bit more darker Pia, a little bit more edition Pia, and yeah, and I will keep doing my art. Other than that, I have nothing planned. Basically, I'm open to what life is gonna show me. I will be
Mm.
well. One thing planned that I will be in NFT New York. That's something I
Oh,
planned,
nice.
and that's it. Yeah.
I hope we make it there, Dudley.
Oh, you
Uh,
will make.
yeah, we will. I'm gonna try now to book for East Dubai. I'm not sure, but a lot of my friends are gonna be there. I don't know about NFT Paris. It looks weird. I don't know. I kind of wanna go and I don't wanna go. We will see. But
When
NFT
is
New
it
York.
exactly? When is
What
NFT
NFT New
Paris?
York? When is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
NFT New York is at April. I think it's at 14, 12th of and 14th of April or 13th, around that era, basically.
Mm,
So
mid-April.
we still have time.
We
We
probably
still
can
have
make
time.
it that, but it's a long
Well,
ass
I
flight.
have new family consequences that are like
Oh shit.
limiting flying, so
Oh, that is
and
such
it
a good.
means going to New York without waifu, that would be
Ah,
very
yes.
risky operation.
Yeah,
Oh, oh
maybe we
yeah.
can limit it to Europe where you can drive for
Yeah,
this
yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. For at least for this year. I wanted
Yeah.
to ask, how was your onboarding process to Super? It's like my friends here are nudging me. and we are having discussion about like if I am or not artist and if I should apply. So how was your onboarding? Did you go through the process or you used some handy shortcut?
I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did. I
Yeah,
was
spit it out,
lucky.
spit it out. I'm collecting
Okay.
data.
Okay. I was lucky enough to be suggested by my collector, which also secured my first Genesis piece. He was a great help. He also got yeah, he's been eyeing on my work since foundation, and um it's actually pretty funny because I recently called him, and we kind of like had this flashback of my foundation era where I was like doing my sales around 0 point, like it started from 0.1 and then 0.2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes. And he was like, yeah, he was the very first, like, I respect him so much. He's an art guy. Freaking love the guy. He has a very, very good eye on sniping artworks, and like emerging to artists. Like he's like just snatches them and they become huge. He was the one who I first time saw Tijo also got collected. So I was like, yeah, very, very lucky to for to have him in my journey. And he suggested, but I may need to note that not every suggested artist also makes it to super rare as well. It was like this first times of where collectors became creators for super rare. They were kind of DMing, oh, you should get this artist, this is great, and they were like opening ears as a super rare creation team. And I was lucky enough to get accepted by the creators of super rare, and that's how I onboarded.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I suppose you're a cat person from AOP.
Oh, yeah, she's sitting just like in front of me right
Yeah,
now.
she looks exactly as our cat,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, like a gray, like yellow eyes, but it's him. It's
Oh,
our William.
mine
Nice.
is a queen. Mine is a queen.
All right, cool.
I'm a dog person myself. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your art and your story with us. We would like to invite you again to the show during 2023, before your show, or if you have a big drop coming up, we would love to hear again from you and what you're up at the time. So
Uh,
thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. It was like great
Thank,
chat with you guys, and
thank
I
you very
would
much.
love to. I would love to. So
Fantastic. So we will do it again. Um, don't forget, we have put out our covers book for 2022. Every page takes 1 week to write, and it is an absolute masterpiece. And we also have subscriptions available because on the 9th, the new Gazette is out with an amazing show by Sillery. So don't miss all of that. Thanks everyone for listening. Tomorrow we have another exciting interview lined up for you. Have a great day. Bye
Have
bye.
a great one. Thanks
have
for
a
coming.
lovely one, guys. Thank
Yeah,
you.
enjoy Master of Puppets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Woo! Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.